At last, the whole story after the incredible reversal today in an Italian court of the murder conviction of American student Amanda Knox. She is finally on the way home, back to Seattle. Her entire life today passed through the keyhole of the jury's verdict. On the other side, there was either freedom or a long tunnel of years carrying her into middle age behind bars. Here's ABC's Elizabeth Vargas with our coverage of Amanda Knox, Judgment Day.
Terry, after 4 years, the odyssey for Amanda Knox and her family is finally over. The young woman from Seattle, convicted of brutally killing her British roommate, has been freed from prison tonight, acquitted of all charges. She is now celebrating with her family, who has stood by her from day one and never once doubted in her innocence. Judgment Day for Amanda Knox began with the same ritual that has marked the proceedings from the start. Knox's mother, Etta, and her father, Kurt, each navigating a gauntlet of international press before entering the court.
I'm very hopeful. Thank you.
Knox herself arriving in an armored police van. Then, one by one, through the medieval courtroom's metal double doors, they came. Etta, the prosecutor, Giuliano Menini, and then, surrounded by a phalanx of security officers, Amanda herself, somber and cloaked in an overcoat. In their final closing arguments, Knox's attorneys restate the core of their case. The DNA evidence used to convict her in the murder of her roommate Meredith Kircher had been discredited, and now Amanda must be freed. Next, Raffaele Sollecito, Amanda's former boyfriend and co-defendant, insisting that he never hurt anyone in his life. He shows the court a bracelet he has worn bearing the words, "Free Amanda and Raffaele." "I have worn this for 4 years," he said. "Today it is finally the day to take it off." Then the court falls silent as Amanda Knox rises to deliver her much-anticipated statement.
Amanda Knox.
The intensity of the moment almost overwhelms her. She is shaking as she struggles to get the words out.
Okay.
But as she continues, she seems to gain a bit of confidence. The young woman, described by her accusers as a she-devil and a shameless liar, now taking one final opportunity to speak for herself. "I am paying with my life for something I haven't done," she said. "I am not what they say I am. I am not perverted and violent. When we found out that Meredith had been killed, I couldn't believe it," she said. "I couldn't believe it was possible. Then I felt fear. If I had been there that night, I would be dead also." She said, "I shared my life with Meredith. We were friends. She was concerned for me. She was always kind to me. She cared about me. She was murdered, and I always wanted justice for her. I have not murdered," she said. "I have not raped. After 4 desperate years, I insist I am innocent. I want to go home. I want to go back to my life. I don't want to be punished. I deserve freedom." After 10 minutes, Knox sits down, drained from the effort. She's escorted back to prison as court adjourns and the jury of 2 judges and 6 civilians begins deliberations. Outside, Meredith Kircher's family implores the media not to forget the victim.
Meg has been almost forgotten in all of it. That's why we're here today, really, just to be present and remember Meredith in the city that she loves.
The Kirchers have always said they believe in the original verdict.
We were satisfied with that last time. Nothing's changed since then. It's still exactly the same. They're obviously entitled to their appeal. That's how the Italian justice system works.
When night falls on these narrow, winding streets, Perugia looks less of an Umbrian postcard and more like the setting of a gruesome murder. It is against this sinister backdrop that the jury returns with a verdict after 9 hours of deliberations. Moments before the verdict, the body language in court is a study in contrasts. Prosecutor Menini confidently embracing the Kircher family. Knox herself trembling with anticipation, clearly having trouble keeping her emotions in check.
It's life or she gets to come home. And that's a pretty big thing to have on your mind as a 24-year-old.
Sostenuta nel presente grado da Patrick Dia Lumumba.
The first statement from the judge is actually bad news for Amanda. She's found guilty of slandering her former boss, bar owner Patrick Lumumba, when she fingered him for the murder during a controversial statement to police that she later retracted. But then,
assolve entrambi gli imputati dai reati loro scritti ai capi A, B, C e D.
Acquittal on the murder charges, the jury demanding that Amanda and Raffaele must be released immediately. And despite the judge's repeated demands for silence, the crowd cannot contain its emotions.
Silenzio! Silenzio, per favore! Silenzio!
The stunning reversal of fortune is too much for the 24-year-old to bear. She breaks down in court, tears streaming as she is hustled away. Outside the courthouse, Menini is jeered and booed by the crowd, while Amanda's sister Deanna is exultant.
We're thankful that Amanda's nightmare is over. She suffered for 4 years for a crime that she did not commit. We are thankful for the support we have received from all over the world. And last, we are thankful to the court for having the courage to look for the truth and to overturn this conviction.
Amanda is extremely satisfied and she's looking forward to have a future back home. She's looking to go back as soon as possible.
Knox returns to the Capane prison for the last time. Hours later, after she has said goodbye to the prison chaplain and filled out some routine paperwork, a small convoy of cars drives away as Amanda Knox enjoys her first moments of freedom in almost 4 years. The question now, what's next for her and her family?